The question I pose to you today is just how accurate, and by accurate, what I really mean is how far can I shoot it? We're gonna test out and max out my sight tape today. Let's get right into it. Now Joel here. We're coming up on one of the greatest weekends of the year for somebody who likes to shoot their bow, talk a lot of shit, and compete with the guys. Total Archery Challenge coming up right around the corner. I thought I would take the time right now to get some final marks, dial it in from downtown Charlie Brown, and go through some of the stuff you might want to consider if you're going to go to a TAC event or a 3D event, that kind of things. I need to go down here, hit the record button to get you guys the crispy slow-mo long bomb shot back here. Camera goes as far behind the shooter as you can get it with as much zoom as possible, as many frames as possible. I get asked a lot how to do that shot. That's how you do it. Camera set, shooter on 1/3, target on the other. Couple little bow modifications, added some weight, make this thing as steady as possible. One of the famous shots or things to do is the 110-yard win a truck shot. Crispy even won it one year, which is kind of wild. So if you're going to attack, you definitely want marks out to 110, potentially 120. I'm gonna do 130 just to have as a bonus, but the longest shot you'll probably have is 115. 110 right on the money. Gotta take my shades off. All right, let's dial one in. So black gold sights only go to 100 yards. So beyond 100, you got to get some custom marks. There's a couple sight tape companies that make longer sight tapes. CBE, one of them. Ultraviews, I think, goes past 100. Precision cut you can use to build the tape. This tape is the right tape, so I don't want to replace it. I'm just going to shoot in my marks. 110. Cool bore. That looked high. Looks like it was spinning well. A little high, not bad. If you want to be able to stretch your sight tape further than you can right now, a couple things. Lighter arrows, higher peep, those are the big ones. If you can lighten up your arrow, you can get out further. Higher peep allows you to extend that too, gets you a little more clearance. Because eventually what we all run into is the arrow hitting the bottom of our scope housing. And one easy way to check is just to run a reverse arrow through at the height of your rest. And watch, I can drop down, drop down, drop down. Say roughly there, I'm gonna run into it, which is probably 140 yards or something like that. I can typically get like 120, 130, depending on the setup. 135, I think, is the furthest I've ever got. I'm gonna just move this, I shouldn't have. That elevation was pretty good. Money, perfect. I added a bunch of weight to my bow because if we're just having an honest moment here, archery is something I've worked really hard to just be okay at. I'm not like naturally talented. When it's come to some other sports, I've definitely started with more natural talent than I've had for archery. It's taken me a long time to kind of learn the fundamentals from scratch and just work really hard to be okay at archery. Yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. I think sometimes some people think because I make videos, I'm highly talented. That's not the case. I'm just a guy who likes making videos and sharing my experiences and that kind of thing. And a lot of times I kind of get the micro jitters with how my bow floats, with how my pin floats. I get like the micro jitters, like it's pretty erratic. So putting more weight on there definitely slows that down. Makes it a little more methodical, makes it hold a little steadier. And I know it's just one of those things that everyone has to figure out for themselves on their own. If you haven't started messing with your bars, it's definitely worthwhile because getting your bar setup dialed in, it's kind of like one of those equipment things that can make a really big difference if you get it right. And it's not that hard to change or mess with. But one thing to keep in mind is if you do start throwing a lot of weight on your bow, especially if you kick it out to the side, it can change the bow's tune, which is exactly what happened here. This changed the tune of my bow. I broke a little high. Hit a little high, which is good. I think we're close. Oh, that felt money. Okay, this is good. This is my 110 mark. So probably the right thing to do would be to just print off an extra length of paper, put some marks on that paper, and then stick it. I don't have that right now, so I'm just gonna get a little dot. Feel pretty good about 110. We'll go back to 120. If you're going to a TAC or you have a TAC on your calendar this year, or any long 3D event, considerations. Third access. Spend some time shooting downhill. Steep a downhill as you can get, far as you can group consistently. You know, if you can only shoot 30, 40 yards, that's plenty, especially if you can get going on a good downhill. Get your third access dialed in. Get your bow tuned. That should go without saying, but if you haven't checked your timing, your tune recently, get those things done before you show up, because anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Now, typically when I show up, I'm just gonna wear something light like I'm wearing today with my binos, my arrows, which are just in a Kafaru hip quiver. Some people wear a small backpack. I would wear a light pair of hunting boots, hiking boots, heavy duty shoes. You're gonna walk around a fair bit, so you want something that you're comfortable in. I got something to aim at down there now, so that makes it a little easier. Let's check it out. Let's check out a 120. This is gonna clear, but I might not get to 130, but we'll try. We'll try. We'll see what happens. Okay, so here's 120. That was close. That's like top of the 10. I can't do any better from 120. I mean, I get lucky, I can or whatever. Some people are a little intimidated to shoot longer distances. I can understand why. Nobody wants to lose gear. Once you've built a little bit of confidence in your basic form, your structure, you're holding confidently back here, it's fun to stretch it out. And there's definitely a balance of shooting far versus near. I think particularly for some people, it gives a lot of confidence. Let's see what happens here. That missed. Oh, that missed. That missed. So, remember what I was saying about losing stuff? Nobody likes to do it. That includes me. Let's try it again. 120. That was so pure. That was so pure. Oh my gosh, that's in the 11. Okay. This is going a little better than I expected, minus the whiff. So I'm gonna get a little mark here and call this my 120. Yeah, center of that mark. Looks pretty good to me. I think we better go pull these and then we'll go back to 130. What you doing, buddy? He's all tired out now. How about you? How about you? How about you? How's my little girl? How's my little girl? How is she? Let's go pull some arrows and see what we got. And look for one. Damn it. If you haven't considered yet or you've debated it, going to shoot like a local 3D or any kind of fun event like a Total Archery Challenge or whatever, definitely throw one on the calendar. Don't hesitate, just go do it, whether you're ready or not. There's always targets that are closer for people that are learning, and it forces you to have your stuff tuned. It's a date on the calendar to get your gear ready. The more time you spend shooting on uneven slope, shooting at foam, you're gonna feel a lot more prepared when your season rolls around. A lot more prepared. Like the shot I made on my Nevada buck last year, no way I would have been able to make that shot confidently without spending a lot of time shooting on even slopes and stuff. It helped me a lot. I've got 2 in the 11, which is crazy. And then I got a random down here somewhere. I think I'm gonna get 130 out of the deal here. The upside down arrow trick shows it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna go fletchings upside down. God, I don't even know if that's gonna clear on my wrist. I'm gonna go fletching right side up. You guys will see a little funk on my arrow if it doesn't go well. Let's try it out. 130. That was pure. That was so pure. High. That was high, quite a bit. So I can come up a little bit. That hit. Elevation looked good. It's in the 10. It's about what I can do. Now, if you want to get fancy, there's other stuff you can do to shoot further. I'm 1 pin center of the housing. So if I drop down a pin, I can shoot further. Some people will shoot off the level to shoot even further. So the closer your bottom pin is, or I could even, if I was getting real fancy, I could even put a little mark on my post, which wouldn't be a bad thing to do. 130 is pretty good. Let's try this again. Oh, that was good. I'm right there. I'm a little left, but my elevation is perfect. I like that. I'm just shooting bonus arrows at this point. If you haven't seen the video yet, this bow won the kind of my 3D shoot off to see what bow came to TAC with me. And it won pretty close on a very windy day. And you could say, yeah, one bow shot first, didn't have the advantage. It was windy, there was a lot going on. But that was pre me putting weight on this bow. And man, it feels good right now. It's holding really good, especially like no warm up, cold bore came out. I feel really nice about this setup right now. I've got to shoot a couple more arrows from closer to the camera. I kind of goofed up my framing back there. Couple bombs from 130. You can see that nice tight group. Basically, I could probably shoot the nuts off a squirrel from 50. Not bad. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so right now. Next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have some amazing Total Archery Challenge videos coming out. Got to put a whooping on my friends, Brandon McDonald, James Visser from Bow Disciples, and my good friend Josh Jones, aka Podium Archer. Lashings coming for all of them. It's gonna be a great couple of weeks. Road to 100,000. What more reasons do you need to hit the subscribe button? Guys, let's wrap it there. I will catch you back for the next one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 arrows. Is that enough for Total Archery Challenge? Probably not. You should probably bring a dozen, maybe more. I should probably build a few. That's your last little TAC nugget. Now Joel here has seen me shoot this bow as much as anybody. Enough to take Josh Jones down?
Oh, it's definitely. Practice makes perfect.
That's par for the course. Brandon McDonald?
Oh, got him.
James Visser?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.